unidentified or too traumatized to testify. Forensic evidence being partial due to destruction at the attack sites. Right? And Hamas said, they denied all these allegations. So this is where we have a problem, Netanyahu did everything in his power to freaking shut down the committee that was about to be set up to investigate the 7th of October. Yoav Gallant, which is the defense minister, before he got fired, he was pressing Netanyahu to investigate this whole thing on what happened on 7th of October. He even said about the hostage deal. He said we had a fucking hostage deal on the table in July. The only motherfucker that didn't accept it was Netanyahu. And and he said, "What the hell are we doing in Gaza?" This was reported in Times of Israel. You should look into it, Rohan. In this room we debunk all your bullshit claims, man. Hezbollah doesn't work anymore. Rohan, I wish it did, right? I mean, if I was on your side, I'd be like, okay, I'll be pushing that fucking narrative. But at one point, you got to give it up. That narrative ain't working anymore. Even in Australia, it ain't working anymore, man.
I do agree with Rowan when he says, this wouldn't have, what's happening in Gaza, it would not have happened if it wasn't for Hamas going in, on October 7th. That was a catalyst. That's true. That's logical. That's cause and effect. However, Israel's responsibility of how it acts also determines what happens.
He said it's on GoPro, Edward. He said it's on GoPro.
Yeah. So everybody says the rapes are on GoPro. Where are these GoPro rapes? I've seen that comment.
You want to know something really funny? I'm guessing Rolo's Indian, right?
No, his name is Rohan. He's from Australia.
What is Indian?
Australia.
Mikhail, look, no offense to Rohan, Mikhail calls him a kangaroo fucker because he lives in Australia.
Okay, but my example when it comes to Australia works even well for them because their own history even points out when they were rebelling against, other foreign interests, right? The Australians weren't afraid or shy to use violence to get their own freedom and peace. And they go ahead in their own history books and call it victory and heroism, and that it was necessary. So it's rich for an Australian to go ahead and say that same shit about the Palestinians and saying that's terrorism when they did the exact same things several times over.
We still managed to put old Mr. Ferrari exactly where we wanted. Did we?
No, I don't have anything better to do with my time. You see what you wrote, Amir?
Yeah, he said, do you have anything to do, nothing to do with your time, apart from hanging out with this low-life racist guy? I'm not racist. Come on, man. Where's my feeling? I'm not even a Jew hater, man.
My answer is no, I don't have anything better to do. You got that, Amir?
If I was a Jew hater, right, I would be saying shit about the Holocaust and denying the Holocaust, but I don't know, man. Even the person that coined the term, his name was Bill Maher. He coined the term anti-Semitic, right? But it doesn't make sense to me. This fucker married 3 Jewish women. How could a Jew hater marry 3 Jewish women unless he was Jewish?
Without a doubt.
Somebody that's a staunch, Jew hater. Why would you marry 3 Jewish women? There's just something fishy there, man. There's always something fishy around Israel and these people that live in this land called.
And that's what he's thinking about.
It's not even that. Even Israelis go ahead and threaten Jewish people all the time. You don't even have to look into Israel. Actually, Rolo, if you want to see who are the real anti-Semites in this world, look at the treatment of actual religious Jews in Israel, right? You will see that the Orthodox Jewish people are beaten or imprisoned anytime they advocate for their religion. That is, by definition, anti-Semitic, right? See the way that actual Jewish people are treated when they speak out or speak against any other, government entity, foreign entity, or how they're treated here in America by people who claim to be Israelis, right? That's more anti-Semitic than anything else. And they point this out themselves. But all of a sudden, we're going ahead and saying, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic to be, to be anti-Israel," when Israel has literally nothing to do with the Jewish religion as a whole. They just make up their own shit and then call it Judaism. But the actual people that follow it